Hey everyone, we're live. Sorry about that. Had a few issues here, and it looks like I might still be having a few issues. And Lewis will be with us in a few moments. But how's everyone doing today? Thanks everyone for stopping by early, hanging out, sticking through while I had some tech issues. 70th anniversary Godzilla movie marathon episode 2. We were talking about Godzilla 1998 today. Very excited. I've watched this movie 3 times um, in the last 3 days. I've watched it every single day. Um, Man, I was a little bit concerned, and it was way easier to watch than I remember the last time. So I'm very excited. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Let's catch up with the chat here and see a few more. I have a very rare ultra vinyl curio figure with me. Nice, nice. A Tokusatsu BTS, how's it going, Joseph? Doing well, DJC. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you. We do figure reviews and we do these live streams. We do a live stream every Sunday, and then throughout the week or on Sundays, sometimes we do these movie live streams for this year. Also, we do live unboxings for the most part here when the unboxing is hype enough. And yeah, we just chillax, we just stream, we have fun. While we're waiting for Lewis to join, I have some breaking news to share. Maybe you guys saw, maybe you haven't yet. Right before we went live, about an hour ago, Tamashi posted their promotional pics for the Evolved Godzilla from 2024. What do you guys think? I think this thing is gorgeous. I am completely shocked at how good this looks. I'm man, this is if this figure is as good as the promo pics, or at least close to it, Monster Arts fans are eating good. We eating real good. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that. I wish I could enlarge it for you guys. That thing is gorgeous. Whew. It's very nice. Very, very nice. And then at the end of it, we got a teaser for Scar King, which Haya hasn't announced anything for Scar King yet. So, personally, I think it looks a little bit better than the Haya. I think they're both going to be fine. I think they're both going to be good. But definitely more excited for the Shma than Haya. I like the sharper sculpts, and that's something that Yuji Sakai is really good at doing. So, and that's where we're at with there. 98 was a blast. Godzilla's Revenge was the worst film ever. I mean, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I really enjoy Godzilla's Revenge. But I really like Minya and goofy characters like that. So it looks cool. Looks how Goku Kaioken's times 20, which is supposedly an inspiration for Evolved, is the Kaioken in Goku. So once again, as much as some people like to say Dragon Ball is not as big as it is, Dragon Ball once again is inspiring different media across the realms, as it always does, because Dragon Ball is just one of the biggest IPs ever. Looks like SHMA is cooking with the prototype. Yes, I think this is one of the best looking prototypes we've gotten from them. I'm a little nervous with the neck articulation. It looks a little limited, but we'll see. Yo, did I see it, Kingzilla? Yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about this beauty. This thing is gorgeous. Really glad Yuji Sakai updated the sculpt, or updated the legendary sculpt. It's looking good, and just like that, we have our guest. Everyone here in the chat, would you like to welcome Luis Duran?
All right, here we go.
How you doing?
How are you, man? It's been a good while. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh yeah.
We're doing good, hopefully. Let's see here.
All right, here we go. We're chilling now. Looks all good. I see you, man. I see the background. I see the chat on my phone. I don't see the chat on my side, but I see the chat on my phone, so we're all good with that. Chilling.
All right.
Here we
I got
go.
the iPod. or iPad right here, so I'll be able to see. We've been live for a few minutes. I was just going over the Monster Arts news real quick, just because it's extra.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hand it to you, man. I'm gonna hand it to you. I think I like the SH Monstars a little bit more than the Haya figure because
Yeah,
I saw it. I saw it, everybody. I saw it. I think it looks really good.
let's just throw it
Yeah,
up real
this thing
quick.
right here. This looks. I think this looks awesome. This looks great. I think it looks a lot more like. How do you say it? It looks a lot more like natural. I think uh,
Yeah.
the Haya figure. The Haya figure like has a lot of colors on it, especially a lot of browns on it, which
Hmm.
could be a little distracting in my opinion. But this looks amazing. Haya's is good too. Don't get me wrong, but I think I am leaning towards the SH Monsters just a little bit more. These photos that he has up on the screen, Kaiju has on the screen here, they look great. I love the pink on it too. Uh, ah, looks good, man. Let's just hope that the final product looks as good as it does here. Obviously, it might look different. You know, it might look different. It's going to look a little different. As long as it looks like the other SH monster, it's like Godzilla 2019 and like 2021, I think we should be okay. It looks good so far. And they did reveal like a Scar King as well, I believe. There it
Yep.
is. There it is. There
We
it
got
is.
this promo shot.
The
The
Scar King.
first articulated Scar King. Import Scar King.
Yep. The first articulated Scar King. This looks good. I think it looks great. I love that he's got the sideburns and the beard like he had in the movie,
Yeah.
uh, which is good. I love that SH Monster. It's incorporated that. It looks good so far. So yeah, everybody that's watching looks good.
Yep. Monstart's bringing up a little pre-stream hype, but today we'll move on to that. We'll move on from the Monster Art stuff just because it doesn't pertain to the beautiful '98 film that we're going to be talking about here for about an hour and a half or so, give or take. Um, pretty. Did you get a chance to watch this week?
So it's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. I did not have a chance to watch it this week. I've been so busy, but I remember this movie like the back of my backyard. So I'm good to talk about anything and talk. And
Awesome.
I'm just ready to talk about this film.
I watched it 3 times. I watched it before bed every single day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So, or this
Yeah.
morning. So, I'm pretty hyped. I've got this movie pretty clear in the head, which this was my first like actual full length feature Godzilla movie that I actually got to see start to end. So, I mean, this one's already in the nostalgia bucket for me. So, I'm gonna check up with the chat real quick, and then we'll get all in. So let's see. The face is different. Yes. Hi, Peachy as always. Lewis, Matt's in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Matt saying the Haya figure looks like he rolled in poop. Yeah, the promo photos didn't look as good, but the one in hand shot with the Shimo, excuse me, looks like it's gonna look like what the 24 re-evolved looks like now. So I'm not too worried. I just think the sculpt is softer, and that's my problem with it. It looks soft. And this is done by Yuji Sakai, so it looks aggressive, even if it's not completely CGI accurate.
It does look like they took like the CGI model and made it into a figure. SH Monsters did.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it looks a lot more natural. Haya's figure, it, it looks good. I love it. It looks good.
Mm,
Like, but I don't know the SH Monster. It's like that looks like it was just movie. Like that's the movie right there. So
yeah.
from what I'm seeing so far, the SH Monsters does go above the Haya Godzilla 2024 Evolved. So SH Monsters, respect, respect.
Hey, and there's who knows what else is coming out this year. We've got DJC saying '98 is childhood movie. Same man. It's right there. Such a
Yes.
good movie. If '98 didn't exist, we wouldn't have the Millennium MonsterVerse Shin or -1. That's true. It's we probably wouldn't have them thanks to '98 not doing as well critically.
Yep.
98 slash Zilla Bandai this year. He was about to win against Super Mechagodzilla. I would say so. I think we're in point to get this film or to get this, Godzilla iteration as a Bandai or a Monster Arts because we were told that's also going to happen.
Articulation, yeah, Articulation did post about that, right? Like I saw that, like I think last year they posted about it. Like they were like, "Thank you so much of your appreciation on this, Godzilla '98." But it's not officially confirmed that they're going to make one. But that's showing that they consider it. I think.
Yeah, so Articulation series they just have a kaiju up every few days and people vote how bad they want to see it and they're giving that to Bandai for Monster Arts. But 98 was specifically asked to the president who handles Monster Arts and all like the Tamashii Nations and stuff. And he pretty much kind of soft confirmed that it is something that they're working on. It's just that it's such
Hmm.
a different design that it's gonna be a while, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's going to be a little harder to get those right details and right sculpt, and I understand that. I always wonder that too, because Godzilla '98 is obviously a lot more slimmer than a Godzilla would be, like a normal traditional Godzilla. So I can
Hmm.
see them like wanting to take their time on that. So yeah, that's completely understandable.
And scale too. Like,
Yep.
are they gonna buff him up? I think I'd prefer it to be like if it's walking the way it normally does. Probably half to two-thirds the size of a normal Godzilla.
Yep.
Make it out of scale. It's fine. I want it large. We don't have a really good like large articulate. Well, we don't have a good 6-inch scale Zilla figure to begin with, really. Besides some of the older stuff. For modern stuff, though, we don't have anything. So,
YMSF is doing some
uh,
good stuff.
yep,
YMSF is
that's true.
doing they're doing some good stuff. But they're making another one very soon that's going to be like right out of the movie, and I cannot wait for that one. So
Yes. Is that gonna is that a normal release or is that a G Fest
oh
release?
no, that it's not going to release this year, unfortunately.
Oh,
I think
not this year.
it's either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, but it's supposed to be the traditional horde, like the slanted look that
Oh,
it had.
okay,
So that's great, and the sculpt just it looks like basically it almost looks like what Spiral made, but just smaller.
okay.
So uh, I cannot wait for that one. And yeah, Matt saying YMSF is the goat.
Yep, yeah, yeah. Bringing the animated color Godzilla. Yeah, they. I'll give it to YMSF. They've been doing some pretty good things the last year, and the new Rodan looks good. But Rodan is not 98 related, and I don't want to
Right,
get too
right, right.
sidetracked. We're not here to talk about the toys necessarily. We're here to talk about the movie. Isn't the one you're talking on based on the animated design? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh,
Lewis would
which
definitely know.
which
The slanted one?
no. So that yeah, there's two different ones. I think I sent it in the chat like a month ago. Uh, but the one that there's two of them right now, but one of them's obviously the animated one. But there's actually another one that's going to be slanted and it's going to be that like accurate design. So
Okay. Okay. It's all good, man. It's okay. It's still 98, so it's all right.
too much for
So,
you to talk.
98, we're not going to summarize the movie. This movie's been out for a while. Also, that's one thing that after I rewatched my last stream, I was like, okay, no, we're not doing summaries. But I still want to talk about like some pieces of the movie. Lewis, what's your favorite scene in 98?
Oh, that's a hard one because there's so look. There's so and you guys know whoever's been following me. You guys know I love this movie a lot, and there's so many scenes I like. But man, I just love that. I think top three scenes from the movie is definitely the beginning. The way they amp Godzilla up in the movie from the very beginning when he's destroying that what Japanese ship, like it was like a cargo ship or something.
Yep.
And the way they did that was just like I can only imagine how it must have been like watching the first like 15 minutes of this movie and was like, oh my gosh, this Godzilla looks like he's just out for blood, right? Like I can only imagine how that must have felt like just watching that scene, especially the music too. The music, like they're like dun dun dun, and it's like the core of it too, and
Yep.
and then seeing the Japanese like the old Japanese guy. I don't know what he was. I don't know if he was a passenger, or if he was like a cook or something. But he opened the door and then just the tail walk boom right into the cockpit windows of the ship. So that scene was great. Oh my gosh, amazing! And then it cuts to Matthew Broderick singing, which is funny. Um, that's one scene I love. The other scene I love is when Godzilla comes out of the water in New York for the first time.
Mm,
That scene I always love watching, especially when I was a kid. I just love like the CGI court like direction they did. Like Godzilla's tail just coming up first, and then he kind of like gets up like this, and then it just it was just seeing that Godzilla just do that is so cool, and I love it to this day still. And then Godzilla just launching his jaws to a truck, it was like a fish truck or something, like a fish cargo truck, which is
mhm.
awesome too. Uh, and man, it's hard, man. The rest of the scenes are hard, but if I had to choose my third favorite scene, I know you asked my favorite scene,
That's okay.
but if I had to do my third favorite scene, it might have to be, man, this is hard. This is hard. I think it just has to be when Godzilla comes out of the sewer for the first time and we get a full look at him.
Mhm.
Like that scene is just so memorable to me. And especially you get to, because this was the first time Godzilla was like slimmed down like a lot.
Yeah.
And so, not to say that you can't see like the muscles that the Godzillas before it had,
Mhm.
but you can really see like his like shoulder pads that he's got. He's got like shoulder pads. He's got his muscle there. It looks like my little muscles right now. You can see his little muscles, and you can see like he's got like a little like I don't know what to call it. It's not like a six pack, but it's like a four pack. It's there if you guys really look at it. It's there. But just seeing that's just and then him just going like that, and then just getting out of that. It was just so cool. And the growl that he had when Matthew Broderick like opened that sewer and that growl that he let out was like, ooh, like that does not sound good. And it was just so cool, man. It's but if I had to pick one scene, I think it might have to be just Godzilla coming out of the ocean for the first time, the Hudson Bay for the first time, and just creating havoc around New York. I
Heck yeah,
don't know,
man.
man. It's just there's so many scenes I like about the movie. I know a lot of people don't, but I always stay true to myself. So like this movie, man, it's such a favorite of mine. And the scene Godzilla coming out of the water for the first time and just stepping his foot down in New York for the first time, that's
Mhm.
definitely my favorite scene.
Sweet. Well, I guess I'll do my three as well. So we're kind of even. So the arrival, the first appearance when he comes out of the ocean, and then pretty much the first attack on New York during pretty much what Matt here has on his comments when the mayor's giving his speech, and we kind of that whole interaction.
Oh yeah,
That's definitely my favorite. And then the next one, which is only got a little bit of exposition in between it, is the helicopter chase. That as a kid and like even now, that was one of the scenes like I was laying down to get ready to bed and I woke myself up because of just how much fun that scene is. I love the helicopter. Such interesting choreography and Godzilla like jumping out of the building and like hitting the one plane is just like oh,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
so brilliant.
yeah.
And then we get the scene that's been referenced multiple times where it looks up and the building just has a hole in it. Like that's been in multiple Godzilla movies now.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one can deny that. That's been in two MonsterVerse films.
Yeah,
It's been in a few of the Japanese films. It's just a
Tokyo
great scene.
SOS, I think.
Tokyo SOS. Yep. And then the last one for me. It's funny that they're all that. I love the car chase at the end.
Yeah,
I pretty much like the finale. Yeah, the finale as a kid. That's right up there with it. Um, I guess if I had to choose a favorite out of the three, though, it's probably that first attack, like the reveal of him getting out of the water, and just the chaos that is ensues from him arriving is just wild.
yeah.
It's that would probably be my favorites. Otherwise, like there's a few like comedy scenes with Matthew Broderick that are like funny. Like I like the intro with him singing, just cuts from serious to him singing in the rain. It's like it it's so bad, but it's so good. It's so good.
It's it fits in the category of like all the Godzilla movies that are bad, but it's good at the same time. So
Oh yeah.
like there's obviously a lot of them, and we don't really have to name them because it's Godzilla '98, but it fits in that category and it fits in the whole genre. So I mean,
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Matt was saying the specific part with the mayor's speech. Yes, that's right up there. A lot of people are saying Godzilla when he arrives at New York. The underwater fight with the U.S. Army. That one's good. It's
yeah,
very
that is a
strategic.
good scene.
Kingzilla saying he's loving the monster arts Godzilla Evolved. Heck yeah, we're both up here waiting for pre-orders.
Yeah,
DC, what about the Brooklyn Bridge chase? Yeah, pretty much that end bit. I'm really big fan. I will talk about it. The ending of the film, I definitely don't have too many qualms with it. I actually think it makes sense. Um, we can talk about that a little bit later. My second favorite with the mayor getting pissed every time he's on screen made me laugh. Yeah, just good, just like late '90s comedy. This movie is just like I don't want to say plagued with, but it's just like you can just see it, especially watching it now, like the third time I watched it this morning. I was like, oh my God, this really is like, this is dated,
yeah,
which is
it's
nothing wrong with that. Um, it's just, I noticed it so much. It's like, yeah, this is '98. The mayor is the favorite character. When I said, I don't want candy, leave me alone. Yeah. As a kid, I always enjoyed that scene.
I always laughed with that scene. I don't want candy. Leave me alone.
And then he takes it anyways and starts eating. It's such a good, it's just a fun, turn off your brain and just enjoy a
Yeah,
movie.
it fits like it
100%.
fits in there like the rest, man.
Yeah. Is there Jack Jack's Zilla Productions? Welcome, welcome. Yep, we did look at the Monster Arts Godzilla Evolved here. I do have the photos, so it's looking good. It's looking good. Let me know what you think. So, if your favorite scenes was so hard, what about is there any scenes you don't like? Or any part of the movie at all that maybe isn't your favorite? I gotta be biased here for these movie reviews.
So obviously, with every film that I love and every film anybody loves, there's always going to be scenes that you don't like.
Hmm.
So I guess one scene I don't like, man. Uh, I think it's like the when it gets to like I think when it cuts away from when they first discovered the ship that Godzilla destroyed, and it goes to New York, and then it's like, oh, cool, we're gonna have some cool characters in here. No, it just goes straight to these like the news reporting stuff and all that. Like that, I'm just like, it's throw that out. Like we don't need that. Like, I maybe it fits its time, but uh, the news, I forget their names. The two, I guess the other girl's funny. She's kind of hilarious. Not gonna lie. Like the other one that she
The
just throws
sassy Bronx gal, yeah.
the one that
Her
throws
name's
the one that throws jokes at her husband all the time.
yeah, yeah.
That one, she's funny. Uh, and maybe Audrey. I don't know. I think it was just Audrey. She was kind of like there was a lot of things about her that was just like, what makes sense about this? You're gonna, basically you were with a guy for so long and apparently you left him. And then there was just like you go around this behind his back, taking his stuff and just putting it out there and get him in trouble. That was just like, they did a good job on like, oh wow, this character's a douche, like I'm
Hmm.
sorry for my language, but like it's just it was just like not executed well. I think that's my least favorite thing about the movie is just that, and
Hmm.
her going around, sneaking around, and taking the tape that was first of all Nick's idea of putting top secret on the on the thing too was not a good idea either. So that was his fault too. But like he said in the movie, as a friend, I should be able to trust you. This shouldn't have been a whole dealio. Like it's so true.
Hmm.
So it, yeah, I think that's my least favorite thing about the movie is Audrey's character. I think like her character, not the actress obviously, but the character and how they portrayed this character to go out through the movie. I think that was my least favorite thing.
Yeah. I she between the character and like her arc, where it's kind of like the whole beginning of the film, they're talking about how she's a good person, she can't make it in New York, and then she makes this completely out of character decision to steal the tape. It's kind of weird, and then she has like throughout the stadium scene and towards the end, then she flips back, and it's just like it's really not deserved, and it's very like just 90-degree turn every time on her character. It's weird, but the actress did fine for what she needed to do.
Yep.
There's a few scenes where her acting's a little flat, but I don't think that's all her excuse me, all her fault either. I think that's might be a little bit of script problem there, in
Yeah.
my personal opinion.
Especially at the end.
Yeah,
Like when I think she says something along the lines of to Nick, "I'd like to find out," and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, brother, like you just like almost ended this guy's career, which I guess it's fine because she redeems herself at the very end. She wants him to explain everything and show the world that he was right. So
hmm
I guess at the end she redeems herself, but from like the beginning to at least the very end when she redeems herself, I think that's just my least favorite thing about the whole movie. But I guess the baby Godzillas too. I can see why a lot of people don't like that. It's really like a
hmm
Jurassic Park kind of thing. Um, I think the baby scenes like do drag on just a little bit too much. Like it drags on a little bit too much for my liking.
hmm
Like I think if there was less babies, maybe it would have been more suspenseful, if that makes sense. But with the baby scene, it's fun. It's all fun stuff. But I don't know. It was just the baby scene. Something about it. It does throw you out of like this is supposed to be a Godzilla movie. It's like, oh, we're watching like a Jurassic Park movie or some bootleg dinosaur movie, basically at this point.
yeah,
So, but I think the idea of these baby Godzillas is a cool idea and concept
hmm
because if they grow up to be the size of this Godzilla, they're gonna, reproduce, and then boom, the whole world's gone, like
yeah,
in that quick of a fashion too. One thing I also don't get, I don't know why. Why does Godzilla travel all the way up to New York to do all this? Like, eh,
yeah,
plot. I guess you got to have the plot, and that's it. And but he passed by so many islands he could have been unnoticeable by. But I guess everything works out because if the whole world never found out about he was laying eggs, then the whole world would have just been like wondering why where are these big Godzilla dinosaur things coming from?
yeah.
So yeah, but
Let's see here. Did you have a thought to finish? I'm sorry.
I mean, but the least favorite, I never thought about that. Like, what is my least favorite scene about this movie? I don't know. I think it's just what I explained, basically.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have a few more. Nilo, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing, said, "Don't like the Godzilla was slimmed down or reduced to 34 meters." Yeah, I'm okay with the slim down, and then the 34 meters tall. It's not fighting anything in this film, so it's okay. It's got a scale with New York, so I get they had to slim it down because Godzilla was like 100 meters tall. Uh, whew. Especially with this design, it would be a little weird. Um, Matt saying I hate Audrey mostly because of the animated show. I need to go back. I remember her not being piece of uh
My God, she
a
was
good
more
piece of
annoying.
the animated show.
She was
Yeah.
more annoying in this show than she was in the movie.
Because she's pretty much there like for no reason. She pretty much lost all her point.
Mhm.
Don't like that they made Godzilla female. I mean, it, to me that doesn't bother me because Godzilla technically, when you look at like raw Japanese translations, they refer to Godzilla as an it and not as a male 90% of the time. Very rarely do they actually give Godzilla a gender. So it doesn't really bother me that Godzilla is a female in this instance. Diversity is good for it, but you have to kind of do that with the plot anyways because the eggs, otherwise you're pulling another thing from Jurassic Park, which is what they didn't want to do. So I don't think, at least. Did you guys know it was originally directed by about before Rome? I did. I I know this film had a ton of issues with directors and actors and scripts.
Oh boy.
It went through a ton of rework, which is kind of why the film critically is regarded a little messy because of how how much it went through changes and it just never got that solid. And oh, look at that. The missus is in the chat. Hey honey, how you doing? Happy birthday to Ann Garris today. Yep, Raids Again's anniversary. We are next year will be 70 years of Raids Again.
Yes, sir. This will be
Wow.
great. And I gotta get my Bandai and Gears 55 still. Gotta
Gotta.
get it. I'll probably get that tonight at some point because I've been waiting too long.
I would say sooner the better because we're seeing a lot of these Bandais. Some just gone like that.
Yeah.
Like 91 was gone instantly. The Final Form Hedora gone instantly. And that Hedora hasn't gotten a re-release yet. 91's getting that new issue, so
Is there any? I know this is off topic, chat. Is there anything different about that 91 Godzilla re-release?
some of the promo pics kind of look like it's a different color, but I, I don't know. They're not issuing it as a reissue, so there must be something color-wise different. The Space Godzilla is definitely different from the 2018 release.
Yeah, yeah,
The
it is.
crystals are more white.
That's like the 100th time they reissued a Space Godzilla.
Yeah, that one's been out of print for a while though. So if this was last year when I was still being a Bandai completist, I would have taken that reissue quick because to get that the 2018 issue was costing me like 40, $50 and I just never pulled the trigger. Lewis, you hyped for that spiral? Have you guys gotten a notification yet?
I like how he says you guys like no we have not like it's I posted I think I kept you guys I don't know if this was when I was still had an Instagram
Hmm.
but I posted on a Facebook group on Facebook that was a Spiral Facebook group and Spiral was in it and so I posted about it how like I didn't get the 98 Godzilla yet and I haven't gotten notifications about it and etc. They replied that they replied to the post saying that the like shipments will start at the end of this month, so like in a week, towards the end of May. So, like you said in the stream the other day, you said it the other day too that people probably won't even get if that's true, if that's what they're really sticking to. People that ordered the 98 Godzilla are probably not going to get it until like beginning of June, maybe. So, end of May, beginning of June, somewhere around there, which I don't mind. I mean, summertime, so I mean, I can't complain.
Hmm. And that'll be for the people that are out of the country of origin. For us, or for you guys in the U.S., it's probably going to be July, August,
Yeah.
sometimes even September, just because they come on boat. So it takes a while.
September time, I don't mind too. It's my birthday month.
There you go. Yeah, I as long as they come in all okay and they're not damaged or they don't look like garbage,
Uh,
I
I
it,
haven't I haven't paid attention much to Spiral, but from what I've seen, they some look good. But obviously, some paint work can be done better because of the translucent effects that they're working with.
yeah.
But this is the first and last time I've ever ordered from Spiral, so I don't plan on ordering anything else from Spiral. This was just a special occasion because you all know me. I love Godzilla 98. Definitely going to be getting Omega Beast's Godzilla 98 too because I saw that at G Fest. Oh, it looks even better than Spiral, but I'm getting that as well whenever that releases.
Probably
Um,
next year, I would say.
so
Yeah, I think they said somewhere next year, or like right at the tail end of this year is when they might be able to do pre-orders. Omega Beast is kind of slowing down the last few months, prepping for this -1 to drop here in the next
oh,
within the month. They'll be out by pre-orders will be up in May, which I think all three -1 products are going to be up. So
say goodbye to
definitely
your
getting that
wallets,
Godzilla
everybody.
Saurus. What was that?
Say goodbye to your wallets.
Yeah, there's probably going to be. I think there's three Gigantics coming out next year or next month. So I'm just kind of afraid. Talk about the two canceled sequels. It had two different drafts by Tab Murphy and Dean Devlin. I don't know too much about the drafts. I just know that there was planned sequels,
Oh, it was
and then the animated show kind of took pieces of them, right? If I remember.
a little bit, but not a lot of it. There was supposed, I think the sequel actually supposed to have Juvenile Godzilla 8 was a little bit bigger. Oh my God, it's a little, but this is Godzilla 98 right here. If it's not, the Juvenile, the film would be at least like this height. The Godzilla was the Beatles, so half the very end. So this was also they kept going out a little bit, but we think the first time, so
Lewis, your mic's cutting in and out.
it
Yeah, it's doing like this weird skip thing. Oh, there we go. Mic's working again. Not yet. Oh, that's some like weird scratching right now. That's so weird. Okay, let's see that. See, I might need to unmute as well.
how's this sound?
There you go. You're all back.
It always always you and everybody that watches my streams, something always goes wrong when I'm in a stream.
That's same thing here, my friend. I've been cursed with connectivity issues, lagging, but
Uh,
that's the South Dakota weather, so
After the brilliant speech I made, um, but no, the second film was supposed to be. It was supposed to have a juvenile Godzilla 98. That was let's say this is Godzilla 1998. I'm going to repeat this again because I don't know if my mic was still scratching or not. But this is Godzilla 98. Let's say the baby Godzilla that grew up to be the adult Godzilla. They were
mhm,
supposed to be at the end of the film. The end of the film was supposed to end with like a juvenile Godzilla about this big to the adult Godzilla that was supposed to be in the sequel. And there were supposed to be multiple Godzillas, like little baby Godzillas surrounding the adult Godzilla and like the juvenile Godzilla. But there were like the babies, like we saw in the '98 film in the original,
mhm.
and it was supposed to be so awesome. Man, the sequel and the third film movie, the drafts were supposed to be so awesome. I can't remember every detail off the top of my head, but I read about it, and if only they kept it going. But obviously, the way the movie went the first time, the sequels are scrapped. So uh, luckily, we got a TV show though. The TV show lived up to awesome expectations. So
Yeah, the animated show's like actually really good.
yeah, it
It's
did not have to be that good either.
yeah, I mean, there's some things I don't like with it, but pretty much all the kaiju stuff, the kaiju designs, the storylines are like really, really, really good for some reason, which is good because it puts some good name back on 98.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's an interesting anomaly that they created, which is it's great. It was 4 kids, right, that had the animated show, I believe.
Was it the like the channel you're talking about? I think
Yeah,
it was something called like that. I know it had the word kids in it.
I think it
I
was
just
4 kids because they had Shaman King and a few other really like cool shows, but it was a super kids related, so everything was like toned down. Like even Nickelodeon was a lot more teenish than that. So King Ghidorah, Fox Kids, that's what it was. Yep.
Fox
Okay.
Kids. Yeah, that was
Yep.
what
And then the block in the morning was Fox or Fox 4 Kids or something like that. I remember now. Okay.
yep.
Because I was able to watch a few like reruns of it on the TV, but I mainly had a DVD that had like the Alien the Voroks. Is that what they're called? The Alien Invasion with Cyborg Godzilla, and then you know the complete series has been available on DVD for years now. So
Yeah.
hopefully they, not that I don't think they will, but they could do a Blu-ray release of it, and I would be glad.
This is the one I have right here.
Yep. Or oh, that's the one. I think that's the one right before, right after. Can't
Mutant
remember.
Madness. I know the complete DVD set, like the whole set, episode set. You can find it at FYE. So yeah, that one right
Yep.
there. You can find that
And
at.
Walmart. Walmart still has it in their $3 bins if your Walmart's just still doing that. Not all Walmarts are doing that anymore. Um, Walmart's going through a huge change right now. So yeah, holy cow, 5 discs for all of this. We need a Blu-ray release. I'm pretty sure they could fit all of these episodes onto 2 discs if it was Blu-ray. And then, oh yeah, the 2 unaired episodes. I remember that.
Oh, they're in that.
Yep, yep. This is everything. I have to
Oh,
go back and rewatch. I watched it when it was on Netflix a few times, but I don't think they had the unaired episodes, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at those. Definitely needs a Blu-ray release. Yeah, it. I don't like DVDs, so I'm a quality fiend with my movie media, so I need a Blu-ray. Just do a big like TriStar set with the 4K movie and the series. There you go. Animated series watch party. If it wasn't 42 episodes, that would be a fun like G Fest adventure. Unless like
my gosh, yeah.
we just did like a few episodes every day, so it would be like 10, 11 episodes. So it'd take 4 years of G Fest to finish it, but that would be
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. The four disc thing you just said. That's an idea for Bandai. Come on, Bandai. Literally do that for like an anniversary. Make a Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla 98 with
Hmm.
like a Bandai Movie Monster Series animated Godzilla and then a Bandai Movie Monster Series Cyber Godzilla. Boom. You don't have to touch a 98 ever again. Like that's all you
It
have
would
to do,
sell.
guys. Come on.
It would sell. I think I was talking about that in my live stream the other day, where I was just like, it was either that or I was talking with uh, a friend on just like ways that they could include these weird designs and they could just sell them. So like this, oh, I was on a live stream because the Always Sunset Godzilla got brought up, and I was just like, do
Oh
the
yeah.
Yamazaki designs, do the Sunset, the Ride in a different colorway, and then do -1 in a different colorway. Boom, and it would sell instantly. It'd be fine.
There you go.
Yeah,
Like
and man, everyone would buy it. But um, so maybe like me, Lewis, and I don't know for sure. Did you grow up with the CD,
which one?
the Godzilla, the movie soundtrack for this movie?
No, I did not. I grew up with the movie, and then I grew up with like the Godzilla the series animated DVD sets, like those DVDs. Sometimes you can rent them at Blockbuster at the time, and I would just
Hmm.
rent those. And yeah, those are the ones I grew up with. Like I didn't grow up with the CDs. I did see them
Hmm.
like laying around at some stores sometimes. But as a kid, I was just like, give me the movie and give me the show. Like I want to see I want to see like the fighting of monsters on the screen.
I I don't have a photo of it, but now I'm gonna grab a photo of it really quick. So I grew up with this CD. Um, Here we go. Let me grab this photo real quick. This is coming from photo. This is from Wikizilla. Hopefully, it's actually in a. I'm gonna just show it off real quick. So I grew up with this. I have two. I have 2 different jewel cases from it because my original one got broke. So this is the soundtrack. This is the non-licensed music besides the opening titles and looking for clues. I grew up on this. I think like when it comes to like licensed music in movies, this soundtrack's like almost perfect. Besides a certain Puff Daddy song that we
Yep.
can't support anymore. But like the Green Day Brain Stew mix, I love that. Foo Fighters is on here for a track that's not on any other CDs. I believe Air, No Shelter, obviously, by Rage Against the Machine. Like just good tracks. Um,
Heroes. We can
Heroes,
be
yep.
heroes.
I think that's definitively my favorite cover of that song. But like I've heard some of the newer. There was a movie that has a new cover of it in a trailer, and I was just like, it's good, but it just sounds like this cover of it, but not quite as good.
Which one's the? I think it. Where's there's a one song I think in this soundtrack too where it goes like, maybe it's part of this movie or part of the soundtrack that we're talking about.
Mhm.
The one that goes, I don't know if which is the name. It might be. Oh, it might be. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It's not here. Maybe it's deeper underground. It goes like dun 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 dun. Which one's that one?
That's Brains too. That's Green Day.
Green Day? That one,
Yep.
I like that one a lot. I
Yeah.
like that one so much. That one's a good one.
Love Come With Me by Puff Daddy as a kid. Yeah. Uh, it's just kind of bad that Puff Daddy's kind of not in a good spot anymore. Because it's a good track, but I'm not gonna give the guy credit anymore. So neither here nor there. But yeah, that's a great soundtrack. I grew up with it. I was always into music, so my parents got me that CD. Uh, Dad even let me listen to it, even though it has a few swears on it. So mainly
Well,
in that Puff track.
what's this? Monster Zero slash Chris actually gifted me the
The
soundtrack,
CD, nice.
the
I've
CD
got.
right here.
Do I have mine somewhere? I thought I kept mine. Oh no. Mine's in the garage right now. I've got to get a new jewel case for it. It's all smashed to hell. Yeah, I mean, my dad used to listen to that CD. He'd pick me up every other weekend. He'd listen to that CD pretty much on repeat for like a year and a half, 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
Great track. And then yeah, you the slip case or the info booklet has a bunch of photos and stuff on it. It's really cool. It's a cool set. Back when CDs, had effort, and now it's a dying breed, which is really sad
boring.
for me. I love CDs. I love vinyl too now. Now that that's back, so I'm doing pretty much both when I can. Watch Stephen Toy's review, and they just revealed the 2024 Evolve Godzilla today, right before stream. So pretty epic, pretty epic.
Big thumbs
What's
up.
up, GoG66? Thanks for stopping by. So I guess we'll talk about the music still. So disregarding the licensed music and the band music, what do you think of like the soundtrack?
I think it's great. I think it's really really good. It fits the whole movie.
Hmm.
That ending scene, man, that soundtrack like hits you when you're seeing a dying animal on a Brooklyn Bridge tied up. Just that music, bro. Like they did not have to make it that sad, man. Like it's almost the song is almost reminiscent of like Godzilla 1954 in a way.
Hmm.
It's obviously not quite there, but it's definitely reminiscent to that soundtrack that Godzilla had when he was dying and when Dr. Serizawa did a sacrifice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the music is definitely up there. It's one of my favorite pieces of sound, like music in any Godzilla movie, for sure. And man, like that's the ending music, man. I always think about that, like the ending music for this movie's, and then when the music gets up to the egg at the very end, like that little suspenseful music, oh,
Hmm.
that's so good too. And it's just like, man, like that the music almost sounds it sounds like some hero music in a way, like teasing that the next movie would have been a Godzilla that would save, humanity from different creatures. That music just kind of like almost teased that in a way because it sounded like very like heroistic. I don't know how to really say that, but it just
Yeah.
like it was like dun 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 dun, dun. Like you were cheering, like you were cheering for like a monster that would defeat evil, and that would have been it. That would have been the Showa '90s Godzilla right there. That would have been it right there.
Hmm.
So the music is great. I love the music, every bit of it. I don't ever have any problems with any of the music in the movie. Um, is there any like I can't remember because is there any like of the CD like the music from the soundtrack in the movie too, like actually in the movie? Because I know in the end credits they have like the Puff Daddy one, but like throughout the movie, does it have like any of that in the movie? I can't remember.
Yeah, there's a mix of both, and then there is a vinyl I saw on here, a vinyl for sure, and I think a CD of the soundtrack to get the actual music and not just the licensed songs. Yeah, here it is. Is this a CD? Yeah, the David Arnold stuff. Holy crap. Yeah, there's uh, 24 tracks, 25 tracks. This, and it's a double. It's got like 40 tracks altogether. So it's a pretty big typical Godzilla piece of
They
set. So there's the album, which is what the licensed music is called, and then yeah, there's the audio soundtrack.
they went
So
wild for this movie, man. It was
yeah.
man, like you said, we were talking about like different directors that went through this and like different drafts of movies and stuff for the Godzilla, American Godzilla. It is a
Hmm.
shame. It is a shame that the previous directors that were supposed to be making this movie got rejected for their like 120 or one something $1 million budget that they offered, or they offered, and they got denied from Sony. But then when Roland Emmerich and Devlin stepped into the table and they offered basically the same thing, they got accepted, which was really interesting. I think at the time there was like there were movie companies obviously were like we need the highest like names in the director industry, industry. Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich were fresh off Independence Day. And what
Yeah.
other movies did they make at the time? There was other ones too. I just can't remember. But mainly
Um,
Independence Day.
yeah.
And
Independence Day was their big break.
yeah, it was their big break. And the other ones that wanted to do the American Godzilla in 1994, they got denied because their names weren't big enough. That was the main theory going around for a while. I could see that being the case because why accept the same budget like 2 years later if you weren't going to accept a budget for the '94 American Godzilla? So it is interesting stuff. It is interesting. I always think about that. Like, how would it have been like if we got the '94 American Godzilla? Like, man, that would have been different. Would have been really different.
Yeah. Yep. Goji 66. We saw them on starts. It was revealed almost 2 hours ago now. So Steven was actually late. Yep. We got Godzilla Evolved, and then Scar King is. We've got a promo image. I would guess he's going to be shown within the next. Evolved is coming out in October, so maybe January next year. So probably next 2 months. Next 2 months, I would say. We'll see. It depends on how quick they want to pump these out. Because
Yep.
I think Beast Glove Kong will be San Diego Comic Con, which could mean Suko in that set as well. And then Shimu probably will be late next year.
Yeah.
I would guess Shimu's not going to get revealed for a long time, which is okay because we need a good actual size accurate Shimu, and the Haya isn't. So, and the writers Ted Elliott, Terry
Yeah.
Rosio also credited. Yep, yep. So there was plenty of stuff on this movie. It just didn't quite land with people as they were hoping, which
I can only
it.
imagine, bro. I can only imagine how that must have been like watching that movie back then. Like, I always wonder that. I always wonder how people felt afterwards.
I mean, even now, I think it sticks out. Like this movie, like when I went, I've already done it this year. I watched all of them pretty much not straight, but I watched all the movies in order. Like 98 was like jarring after watching 20 some Godzilla movies in a row, and then you get here and it's just like, whoa, this is really different.
Yeah.
And then you just immediately go back. You go into the Millennium series. It's like, oh, okay, this is back to form. And then you hit 2014 and it's like another big jar. And then you hit Shin, which is also like a just big slap in the face. And then everything pretty much recently has been completely different, which is a lot of fun. And we'll see if minus one has that same vibe here in 2 weeks. Oh goodness, we're so close. If you guys are pre-ordering the Japanese version of the movie, I have it. I'm pre-ordered. I'm just waiting for it to get here. So
I already saw like the prices for this gold Godzilla 2023.
yeah.
I I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those collectors, and you guys know this if you guys watch me.
Hmm.
I don't right now. I'm one of those collectors that I don't really care how much I'm paying. So once it comes out and I see some prices on eBay, I'm gonna drop no matter what the heck. If, as long as it's like under $400, I don't care. Like I am. That's how crazy I am. Some people are crazy sometimes, and this is one of those times where I'm gonna be a little crazy for it because I was not surprised when the DVD sales. I think they did they sell out? I think
They sold out twice,
yeah. See
or I maybe even no, only twice, only twice. So
yeah.
yeah, they've sold out twice. I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a small third run as the movie drops, but it's gonna be like that. It's just
Gosh,
gonna
man,
go.
it's wild nowadays. Back then, you would be able to like not worry about it. You wouldn't have to worry about anybody snagging this or that. But now it's like a race to everybody, man. There's so much more to look forward to. There's so many more Godzilla fans, new Godzilla fans everywhere. It's wild, man. You can't go a day without a new Godzilla thing popping up. Like it's crazy nowadays,
Yeah.
right? It's fun, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're in the real big boom. Like I'd say the resurrection was 2014 and everything up to here, but I would say like these last 3 years since 2021,
Hmm.
I would say has just been absolutely bonkers because we've gotten the most Godzilla media in the last 3 years than we have in a long time. Versus Kong, Singular Point, minus one. We're getting the anniversary Tokusatsu minis. We've got X Kong. We now have
Godzilla Rex.
next next week we have the reveal of some sort of domestic Tokusatsu Godzilla TV show from in Japan, which we have no idea what it's about. The translations just said it's a domestic Godzilla TV show. Who knows what that is? There's no leaks. We'll figure out the live stream this weekend. Actually, this Saturday or Sunday night, we will
Ah,
finally
I hope
get
I
the
can at
reveal.
least. I hope I can get off early that night so I can like hop on a stream and just like react to that. That would be really cool. Because if they announce and reveal a lot of stuff, for
It
some reason I feel like I don't know, man. Maybe we might get a Bandai Zilla revealed, but
this is equivalent to the anniversary stream in November. They just have moved it up to April now. So toy wise, there's probably I'm guessing it almost 10 Bandais are probably going to be revealed. Four of those are probably just going to be colorways,
yeah.
but we have the Bandai voting set, which is supposedly going to be announced and revealed. That's 5 figures automatically. I think 74 would be a really good reissue for a G Store Limited, and a few other items. And then I would, when it comes to new stuff, like a new 74, a King Caesar, a Zilla, stuff like that, this would be the time to drop them, whether they're limiteds or um, they're going to be just general releases. Since the leaks for the first chunk of the year haven't been revealed yet. We're supposed to have a Frankenstein. We're supposed to have Orga.
Oh yeah, Orga. I
Stuff is
remember that.
missing. So yeah, that Showa Bandai set, that's gonna be hype. I It's gonna be expensive, especially if Ghidorah is in the top five, which Ghidorah probably is. It's gonna be very expensive, but it's gonna be cool.
Wait, which
Um,
there's a show set coming out?
yeah, so the voting session that took place this last year, they said that the top five will get figures, and it's gonna be one box set.
Really? Which were the five?
We don't know yet. That's what's going to be revealed. But it was all Showa. So it was just to name a few. There was a Gabara, Showa Ghidorah, a Showa Rodan, 65 Godzilla, and 66 Godzilla.
Oh, they better.
66,
I hope they make that as ugly as it was in the movie. I would love that, bro. The way you know that ugly, derpy look he had, bro.
the
I
66, y'all.
actually would love that Godzilla 66. Oh,
The old Bandai collector in me that had to have at least one of every Godzilla suit, just like, oh, a 66,
we're finally, all of us are
possible.
finally going to be able to complete at least half of the Bandai Godzilla like world,
Yeah,
basically. Like all we'll need is
Showa's
like,
almost done.
yeah, we'll need like Godzilla. We'll need
64B, and that's
yeah,
technically it.
six, well,
Technically it.
for the Showa series because I don't know what did we get like a 92 and stuff like that too? Like
The old Heisei Godzilla is technically 92, 93.
94.
Yeah, but we don't have a 94, which honestly I don't know why there hasn't been a 94 yet, because literally just take the Burning Godzilla and just paint it normal colors and
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
there's 94.
Oh,
So Heisei's not done. Millennium's about to be done if GMK O2 and then I would guess O3 would come out next year. The Millennium's done. Reiwa is done. No, Scarlet Godzilla from the anime series doesn't have a Bandai yet. So, but I don't think they're gonna go back to that ever.
which one's the Scarlet Godzilla? Is that the snow one?
That is the burning form of the anime
Oh,
movie,
right, right.
Goji,
Oh,
from the second film.
the Monster Planet one?
City on the Edge of Battle. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, the Edge of
yeah,
Battle.
yeah, it's called Scarlet Godzilla at the end when he goes thermonuclear and
Really? Oh, I
kills
didn't
off
know
the
that.
city. Yep, yep.
Huh.
Learn something new every day.
Scarlet
Fun
God.
98 facts, right, guys?
Yeah, come on now. Like there's so many Godzillas they can do, man. I mean, they're almost done with all of them, but
Oh, and
yeah,
Super Godzilla.
Super
We got
Godzilla.
we got big on. I would guess Super Godzilla is not far behind.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Oh my God, that Super Godzilla better go hard, man.
This would be the stream. This stream, or I think Matt and I were talking about it. So when this first got announced, we thought the November stream was just getting moved up. I think they're going to also do a stream in November as well. I think they're just being cheeky and saying it got moved up. I think we're just getting two big drops this year. So Super Godzilla, if Bandai were to do that, would be this stream or that stream. I don't think it would just be a random release. A
Oh yeah,
64 repaint in the SNES colors, that would be fun.
I would like that. Yep. Yeah, that would be
That
cool.
would be really cool. Oh goodness. All the kaiju from the SNES game getting repaints.
That would be awesome. And with a little pixelated look too that they got.
Oh, yeah,
Like
that
NECA
would
did a
be.
good job on that.
They
Like,
did. I'll give NECA that. That figure was one of the most expensive out of that set now, but it looks really really good. So, um, shoot, we got off track a little bit there.
a little bit off track, everybody.
That's okay. It's, shoot. Is there anything you want to talk about 98? Anything we haven't talked about or anything you want to go back?
What happened to him? My wife's showing me our new cat.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Is he alright? What's he doing? Oh my. Oh my.
Hey,
Boy.
hey, Kingzilla. Oh, just a baby.
Name's Remy.
Remy. Okay.
Remy.
Oh, so cute. Oh, full head cocktail. Oh my goodness. I love animals.
Bro,
They're wonderful.
he's a wild one though. He got a surgery yesterday and he's acting all wild. Like he should not be running around right now.
No, no, no. Rest, rest, rest. But animals do as they do.
I have no idea. Probably like wrapping it up in like 15 minutes. Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll
But
probably be done here soon.
anything about more about the movies is like I wonder how like people felt before and after the movie. Like it must have been awesome experiencing that hype, it must have been
Hmm.
so awesome. But at the same time, it must have sucked realizing what you got after the movie. Like that must have been wild to experience because obviously it's not what got people were expecting, and it's just man, it's it's just wild.
Yeah, it's and that's where a lot of the hate comes from is that situation before is the build up, the build up, the build up because the marketing for this movie was bonkers even by normal movie standards today. And a lot of people didn't get what they exactly wanted, to put it that way. Um, Once again, I grew up with this movie. I have no problem with it. Is it definitely like a weird, it's a cut in the films? Yeah. But at the same time, I still like it. I think it's aging okay. It's definitely no expensive $300 bottle of wine, but it's definitely a good wine. Like it's an
It's like
$80 wine.
it's like a it's like basically a popcorn bucket filled with Skittles and what's the other candy called? Uh yeah, just popcorn and Skittles with
Popcorn and
with
Skittles.
weird Dorito chips in there too because
Oh,
that's what this movie is. And as much as I love this movie, I'm gonna obviously agree with all the people that are saying like, yes, this movie is definitely gonna be different from your traditional Godzilla movie. Do I think it follows the formula of Godzilla in a way? Yes, but just a way differently. Like
mhm.
I was gonna mention this earlier too.
Oh yeah,
They
go
did
ahead.
a they did a good job they did a good job having like Godzilla feel heavy in this movie. Like when he's stomping around, the camera's just boom, like all
Yeah.
the time, no matter what he's doing. There's every like little scene where his hands
Mhm.
moving or like his hand crushes the ground or something. The camera just shakes, boom, like a little bit, and that was great. I love that the directors did that. They did it. They had a sense of scale, and it made the monster feel heavy, made him feel like he was there. It was great. Was it the best sense of scaling throughout the entire movie? No, because there were some scenes where it did feel like he was bigger in this scene, but smaller in this scene. So they didn't, and did they do a good job in scaling? I don't think so. But other than that, it's popcorn with Skittles and Doritos in a bucket. That's all it is. And is it a good movie to introduce to a non-Godzilla fan first? No, I don't
No.
think so. No way. Um, but obviously, if you're gonna ask somebody that has not been taking their head out under a rock the past 5 years and ask them what's Godzilla, they're gonna say the one with the babies, right? In New York, was it like 2000 or something? That's what they're gonna say all the time. So if you want, introduce them to like movies like the original Gojira. GMK is a good one to introduce people to that are willing to learn about Godzilla and what he is. Uh, Shin Godzilla is a good one. Shin Godzilla is definitely a good one. Godzilla 2014, maybe, maybe.
It's not bad.
But
-1 once it's
minus,
available on the US side. It's
minus one.
-1 is gonna be a great starting point.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. The original Gojira and Godzilla minus one and Shin Godzilla are the top three ones you want to show a non-Godzilla fan. Uh, Obviously, and I'll be surprised if there's people that still don't know about Godzilla like that till this day because it's been so crazy for Godzilla in the past like 5 years. So, but then again, always help each other out, learn about Godzilla. That's what us as a community should be doing.
Yeah.
Uh, and obviously, there's people out there that have opinions about a certain film and all that stuff. We already know, but just try your best to stay humble. That's all you got to do. And
Yeah.
there might be people that don't like Godzilla minus one. There might be people that don't like Shin Godzilla. There might be people that don't like Godzilla, King of the Monsters. All that, etc.
Mhm.
So and help each other, learn with each other, and just you know help each other out. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. People are going to disagree, and that's absolutely okay. Just keep it respectful, and that's what we got to do as a community because we're getting into the limelight now. Like we're getting closer up there. Not we're never going to be quite as big as like the Star Wars or the Star Treks or stuff like that, but like we our grouping globally is like is closer. So we just have to do our best to help promote and keep the new generation of Godzilla fans in. And I completely agree with Lewis. We got to stop arguing because there's sections of the community that likes to argue. We just got to stop. You know, you can have your opinion. That's good. I can have mine. And we just keep moving on. We got to respect it. There's almost 40 movies now. By the end of this decade, we probably will have 40 total movies. Think about that, 40 total movies. The only movie series that have that amount of films that I can think of off the top of my head are if you're including all the James Bonds together, which we are because we're doing the same with Godzilla, and MCU. And that's like mainly it.
Yep.
Not Jason, not Freddy, even though they're in the double digits as well.
Yep.
But no one, almost no one has 40. This is the longest running franchise in history. It's appointed to this,
And we
and
got to
that's
keep it going, everybody. We just got to keep it going. That's it.
yep,
Um,
Sorry.
sure. Just okay. Sounds good.
yep. So
Qdoba. Uh,
ooh, we gotta finish. We gotta fix our dinner up here, Lewis. I'll ask you one, and this is a quick question. It's 98. I brought something over here with me because it was also mentioned. What is more divisive of a film? Do you think Shin Godzilla is more divisive, or do you think 98 is more divisive?
so because let's see.
Tough question.
Let's 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 say we throw the idea of Shin Godzilla to not like throw it in the time 98 came out, right? So let's say that
Hmm.
Shin Godzilla was the American Godzilla. Let's say that. Would people would have liked it, right? Like let's say like would people would have reacted the same way they did to 90 Godzilla 1998 because technically they did stop Godzilla as
Hmm.
well in Shin Godzilla and they stopped Godzilla. Also, I want to now we're jumping up to different topics too because I do agree with they shouldn't have killed Godzilla the way they did in 98 because
Hmm.
that obviously just trashes the name, right? I agree. They shouldn't have stopped him like that. That was a bad way to to do that. In a Godzilla movie, Godzilla doesn't die unless it's like another monster potentially beating him, or it's like a human-made device like the Oxygen Destroyer. That is the
Hmm.
only things that can kill Godzilla. The way they killed him off in '98, that was not the way to go. But at the same time, Godzilla still lives on because the baby comes back, right? And that's
Yep.
how it is in the original Gojira. Godzilla dies, but another one surfaces the next year. So it's like Godzilla still lives on in the same way. But I don't know, like Godzilla 98, man, there's so many things I've heard of Shin Godzilla from a lot of fans, and there's also a lot of things I've heard from fans about Godzilla 98. I feel like they're almost equally the same. Like they're very oh my gosh, you especially on Facebook, man. Oh, if you talk about Shin Godzilla and the legendary Godzilla together or something like that, if you mention Shin Godzilla in a legendary Facebook group, it's over. You're done. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a I don't know, maybe Shin Godzilla is more divisive, but what do you think? What do you think?
I've only this question's been asked of me before, and I'm sure once we get to the end here and I draw out of the hat, which I don't know where the hat is, with all the movies in it. I literally said it. Did the dog knock it? Maybe the dog knocked it. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I've been asked this a few times as well, and I've really sat down and tried to think about it. I wasn't around when 98 came out, so it's really hard to compare the two. But just I would say 98 probably is just slightly more divisive.
I think Shin Godzilla's
Just
like right here, and then Godzilla 98's like right up here. Because, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I think so.
the main thing with it when I look at that and how I judge that is Shin was big in Japan,
Oh yeah,
and 85 to 90% of the populace that watched the movie enjoyed it. Then it got over here into the US, and I would say it's probably like 50 to 70, maybe.
I
Probably
think it's
closer to
closer I
50.
think it's closer to 80. To be honest,
Really?
I've noticed that every person I've worked with, like on my career side and here in Wisconsin,
Hmm.
every person that I've worked with, when I mention Godzilla, they always go, "Shin Godzilla was so good." I was like, what the heck? What you watching Godzilla Shin Godzilla for? Like that? I didn't know you would be into that. They were like, yeah, Shin Godzilla was like so new, different. It was so unique. It was crazy. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, go ahead.
Interesting. I I've definitely so I work at a job where I'm able to wear all my shirts, and I have been for like since I moved to the town I'm in now. And the one Godzilla movie that really does get like the points and like, oh, I know that movie was Shin, which
Yeah,
shocked me.
yeah,
I was completely shocked that Shin Godzilla because when that came out, my town is normally good about getting all like the event stuff for Godzilla movies. Didn't get Shin back in the day, which is the only reason why I haven't seen Shin in theaters. I had to drive, well, I would have had to drive 5 hours to see Shin Godzilla. Now, if it got a reissue, it would be here at this theater because they do all the Godzilla event stuff. Um, but I say 98 is more divisive because it came out in the US and it was like 50, 60% approval. And although I feel like that's gone up as we've moved away from its release date, I would say it's gone up. Um, Japan also was kind of in the same realm of like it's good but not great, you know, that
yeah.
60, 70%. And it's kind of maintained that where Shin, it's like you either like it or you don't. But I feel like a lot of people that don't like Shin Godzilla, like there's a few people that are very loud and proud about it, which is okay. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to like the film. There's definitely some issues for a general audience that make it a tough film to shift through. Um, but at the same time, there's a lot of silent Shin haters I've noticed as well in the community, which are attracted to me because, you know, Lewis, very big open 98 fan. That's how I am about Shin. Like I I have tons of Shins in the collection. I have more merchandise of Shin Godzilla than I have of anything.
And and there's nothing wrong
Period.
with that, chat.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
yep.
You guys
And
can
that
collect whatever.
and I normally end up in conversations with people about not liking the film because I always find it interesting. I love the film very biasly. So I love listening to people who don't like the film or have critiques and issues with it. I love hearing that because it's such a different conversation. I'm
Yeah,
normally used to just wanking the Shin movie off, and hearing people not do that is a lot of fun. There's someone in the cam groups that I see every year at G Fest. I'm very excited to see again. Um, Hopefully he's going this year. And I can't wait to sit down and probably end up having that conversation again where we just have a few different points. It's just so much fun. Um, Let me catch up with the chat really quick. DJC, you're wearing the same exact Godzilla minus one shirt as 3C Films. Yep, this is one of the cavity color shirts.
I have
I ended up
the
I
closet
got
there.
I got all of them. So I don't have a 98 shirt. And no company, or it's been a little while since a company has done a 98 drop. So that's one of the Godzilla films I don't have a shirt for, which when it comes to apparel, I try to have at least one
Yeah.
of every film. And I've been lagging the last 3 years.
Oh, I've been
Um,
liking way too much.
Shin is such a nuanced film that people give it credit for. Yeah, like I feel like Shin is a better movie than it is a Godzilla film.
That's how it is with Godzilla minus one too. Like it's just boom.
Yeah.
Like Shin Godzilla is in my if it's not in my top five, it's definitely my top 10. Like I love Shin Godzilla too. I so much. Oh man, I love going back to that movie because it just reminds me back of the time of that
Hmm.
time Shin Godzilla was coming out. All of us were hungry for those leaks, man. Like we were like, oh, let's get those leaks. Let's see those leaks. Like we want to see how this Godzilla goes. I remember the first leaked image was that right there. Godzilla just
When
with his tail
this
like that, shooting a laser out of his mouth and tail, and I was like,
when this got leaked, when this scene and the back beam scene got leaked that
oh,
first day, whoo,
that
goosebumps.
was
I'm goosebumping hard,
yeah,
dude.
that was wild. I remember that. I was playing basketball with my friends outside, and I checked my phone, and it was a summer day too. Boom, saw those leaks, and I'm like, what the heck, bro? Like, this was a huge jump from what Godzilla was in Godzilla 2014. Like, that alone was such a huge jump. And I'm actually so glad Toho took that big jump because, like, I mean, man, look where we are now. Like, Godzilla's pink now, sprinting across the Hollow Earth with some elbow spikes. Godzilla -1, creating atomic bomb, atomic breath scenes. Like, it's fun, man. But like you were saying, between Godzilla 98 and Shin Godzilla is definitely the better movie, no doubt about it, 100%. Shin Godzilla's up here, Godzilla 98's like over here. Um, and I love, bro. My wife's favorite Godzilla movie is Shin Godzilla. But I think after Godzilla -1, it's almost like a fight between Godzilla -1 and Shin Godzilla. But when I showed her Godzilla minus or Shin Godzilla for the first time, she was like, "Yeah, that's my favorite one out of the ones you showed me." And I'm like, I was so surprised. I was like, "What?" I thought this would be because knowing, she was part of like the general audience. I thought this would be your least favorite. But the fact that she said that was crazy. I was like, "Wow, I'm so happy." And that just made me so happy. 10 viewers in the chat. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. And we had Unknown Vandal just got here. Hello, how's it going? And then I'm just gonna say Roy. I don't know how to pronounce the first part of your name. I do apologize. I just don't want to butcher pronunciation, so I'll just say Roy. How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Shin. Uh, First movie I showed my partner, and besides -1, she still holds Shin very high. Her and I could literally we could sit down and we can just watch Shin. We
Yes.
can't do that with every Godzilla movie, but we can just sit down and watch Shin Godzilla, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, she loves Form 2, which I have complete. I love the forms. I love Form 2 and 3. Obviously, I mean, I've got the monster arts here. This is what makes Shin for me, though, is this purple pink just monstrosity.
I need that figure, man.
Hoping Bandai does another issue, a new version, a night combat version of this, or Operation Yashiori version of
Yeah.
this awakening. I think it's possible. I think with all the reissues they're doing, we're gonna get Destroya stuff here in the next few months. Like Burning Godzilla and Destroya need new issues for Monster Arts. So I think we're just gonna get two big sets, Godzilla and Junior, and then all of the Destroyas together in one set. It's gonna be expensive, but that'd be my guess
I
after
think
the
the
new Empire stuff.
I think that Shin Godzilla you showed, I think that figure is great. I think what they need to do for like the ending battle version, basically, they
Hmm.
need to make the purple a little like a bright whitish purple, I think.
Yeah,
Unless I haven't seen the figure in a while. I haven't seen that figure in person like in so long. That purple looks good, but I just think it needs like a brighter, like vibrant purple. Maybe the lighting. I don't know. Maybe that will
it's the
sell.
lighting.
That's why.
It, yep, it's translucent. I've got only the two lights in front of me, so it's looking pretty right now. But once you get like an LED behind it, or if you get a color LED behind it, it just pops.
That's why. Yeah,
Um,
looks good.
DJ Shin is my seventh favorite. Heck yeah, man. But then again, I collect and have a ton of Shin, and that figure wise, like Shin is probably one of the most produced. Like I would put Shin up there with Heisei Godzillas for how many
Oh
figures.
my gosh, man. I'm surprised Shin Godzilla's not the face of like Toho's got, the logo. Obviously they made the Hasty Godzilla like the face of Godzilla.
Hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't make Shin Godzilla the face of Godzilla, man. They produce everything out of Shin Godzilla so much.
He was for a few years, and then they kind of the last few years it's kind of just been nothing. And then -1 looks like it's
Bring
minus
it back.
one, and it looks like 54
Yeah.
for this year is going to take back his pedestal.
That
But
orange one.
yeah, that orange theater, not theater exclusive. That's a just a G Store limited or event exclusive. Either way, it looks gorgeous.
I'm
It's
kidding.
thoughts on Godzilla 2014. Um, I think it's a good movie. It will get a live episode eventually, Narrow Designs, um, which is probably what I can move into quick since we're at the end. For anyone who's not aware of how this works, so this is randomly drawn. I have no plans on the order of these movies. I will say, minus one still isn't physically here. So this week, it's not added to the bucket, and it won't be added. It'll be added at the end of next week's episode, or not next week's, the weeks after. So in 2 weeks, minus one will be added because the Japanese version of the film's coming out, and the Xbox plays region free, so I can watch it, no subtitles. But I don't think I need subtitles for this film. Uh, First movie I've seen 4 times in theaters, and I'm not disappointed. So let's see what the next 70th. They did replace the Heisei statue with Shin. Yeah, so he is right now, and then I think minus one is gonna probably take that spot, or a new 54. Or there's people who are making rumors about there is a leak that Toho has a plan for a new Japanese Godzilla movie next year, and then there's one in 2029 with a possibility of 2027. So every 2 years. I think that's just complete horse. Don't take that as real. I don't think it's real. I think it's someone making accurate business guesses or hypotheses, but nothing is set in stone.
Hmm.
But I would agree. I would expect something with by 2026. I think we'll have the teasers for our next film and a release date. I don't know if we're going to get anything next year, um, but it depends on if minus one gets a sequel. If we get a sequel, I think that'll be sooner. If it's its own standalone film or something completely different, then I think that'll take longer. But that's just me. That nothing confirmed.
Hmm.
But we'll see in a week or at the end of the week. You never know what Toho's about to announce.
I can see like another MonsterVerse film in 3 years. Yeah, that I can see. But
I think we're guaranteed MonsterVerse in 2027, maybe 2026, like late. But they've been going for that March
hmm,
June release time. So let's. I've been shaking this enough. Rumors of a Mothra film that I heard about Mothra as well, Matt. We'll see. I think Mothra's due for a big, big comeback. So I would be down. The next movie of the 70th anniversary Godzilla movie marathon discussions. Oh, I already see.
God's
Oh,
it's a good
goodness.
match.
This probably isn't going to show up on screen, but we have my personal third or fourth favorite film. We have Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 1974. We have another anniversary movie, 60 or 50 years, excuse me, 50 years of 74. And this is the next movie live stream next week sometime.
Man, some
I'm gonna
heat.
go guest heavy for this because I mean, I could do this solo. I could talk about this film day and night. Like three or four on my list. It's Shin, minus one is somewhere in there. GMK and 74 pretty much fight. I Probably 74 has a little bit over GMK, but like,
Somewhere over there. You can't see it, but the shelf is right there with the Mechagodzilla stuff. So
is he? Oh, you can kind of see him. We got the X Plus favorite sculptures line 74 Goji right here. I got to get the Mecha Godzilla to go with it. So
there we
I
go.
missed out, and now it's a $400 X Plus. So wonderful.
Fake Godzilla.
Oh, I miss it. I miss my memorial box, but yeah, how it goes. But that's gonna wrap it up, everyone. We had a great turnout. We have 7 active right now. Thank you guys so much for stopping in and watching the film. Thank
Excuse.
you, Luis Duran, for coming in and talking about 98 and just kind of talking about the general news in general for an hour and a half. It's great to have you on, buddy.
It was fun, man. I'm glad I got to join. You already know I watch you like all the time, and I listen when I'm at work, whenever I'm not busy. It was
Thank you.
cool to finally join one of your streams. And
Yeah,
obviously, if you want to ever have me on again, just hit me up, and we'll plan
of
ahead.
course.
And that's all. That's all. That's all I really got to say with that. But I'm glad I was
Yeah.
part of this. It was cool. It was cool. Glad I got to talk about Godzilla 90. If I could turn the camera up to my shelf, I would show my whole shelf right now, but uh, my man, that shelf is like about to crumble into pieces if I had like the spiral up there. I don't know how I'm gonna do
Mm,
that, but uh, but yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun. I'm glad. Thank you for inviting me,
of
always.
course, it's an honor.
And
Thank you.
like I say, you congrats on the 800 subscribers and just keep going, man. You'll literally
Thank
hit
you.
1,000. I'm
Thank
guaranteed
you.
if you keep going, you'll hit that 1,000 by the end of this year. So just keep going.
I I think so as well, my friend. It's looking pretty likely.
Oh,
As
yeah.
YouTube was estimating July, which after that short 2 week break I had, don't think that's possible. But you never know. I just got to make sure I'm stepping up with the reviews and stuff that I've been doing. Plus, there's plenty of new stuff coming out that I know people are going to be interested in watching, and
Yeah.
hopefully, they might decide to stay. But
Um,
thank you, everyone, for coming by, stopping in, commenting, discussing with us. I love it. Um, be on the lookout next week. It's not guaranteed to be Wednesday. It's not guaranteed to be next Sunday either. I'm going to try to go a little bit guest heavier next week as well, because that's what I want these to be about. I just want Godzilla fans all sitting in a live stream talking about these films, because that's what we're celebrating this year. 70 years of fans just getting together. So,
yeah.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla next week for episode 3. Lewis, once again, thank you. Definitely going to have you on the future. Don't know when yet, but we'll figure something out.
Hell
And everyone, thank you guys for joining. And we'll see you guys probably later this week for an unboxing, hopefully. Otherwise, we've got one more review, and the next week we'll have more. See you, everyone. Thank you, guys.